My grandfather basically abandoned his family. My father abandoned me. I abandoned my son, and my son abandoned my grandson. And he's in the penitentiary doing life without parole. And so, the effects of father absence in my family is so deep. It just tears so deep in my soul that it hurts me to even talk about it. That's not who we were born to be. I'm going to turn that around.
It's hard to really accurately describe what the current circumstances and situation is in terms of the black fatherhood in America right now, because the statistics don't paint an accurate picture. Because a lot of men are involved, but they may not be involved on paper.
When people talk about raising children, they think, the father just needs to provide money. The kids are on autopilot without them. Which is a hard thing to try and break that cycle of us even looking at how fathers are portrayed. I mean, it's pretty sad that we reduce them to just basically a paycheck, and it's so much more.
Let's go, Lightning. Go hustle, Cameron.
No matter what, I will be there. It's not about the toys, it's not about where we go, how we do it, it's about being there.
The most important thing to know is Daddy's here.
Fatherhood is everything that you want it to be, but should be everything that is needed to not only, raise a child, but to facilitate an environment for a child to grow up healthy and strong and active.
I think that it's a divine assignment that requires one to be a leader, to be a protector, to be a provider, to be a prayer warrior.
I would define fatherhood as just a male being involved in their children's lives in all aspects, emotionally, financially, and not necessarily always being in the home. I come from a single parent home, and my dad was there, but he wasn't in the home with me. So just being an active participant in the lives of their children.
Fatherhood to me means being present in the lives of your children.
Coming up on your defense. Calvin's my other teammate.
I have two sons, Calvin III and Cameron. And they're like my best friends. They're my favorite people. And there are days I dream about stuff that we could do together. It's just, all my life I wanted sons, since I was probably 14 or 15. When my sons are with me, the most important thing we do is spend time together. There are times we sit and play video games. There are times we sit and watch TV. The most touching moments we have is when we're watching father and son movies. We watched John Q the other day. The three of us are balled up crying.
All right, buddy. Be careful. This is shape. What do you think? That's like a heart. No. That's a heart. That was for me.
A father to me is someone that's going to be there regardless. A man figure that will commit to his children and be there regardless. I think one of the things I commit to my son, and I told him this even though he may not understood me or not, I told him I committed to him, I said, I will always be there even if I don't agree with you. I guess that's the only thing I think. Even if I don't agree with you, or you make me mad, or I make you mad, I'm gonna always love you and I'm gonna always be there for you. I think commitment is like the key to being a father, I guess.
My dad's a character. But no, there's a lot of things I could tell you about him. He's a hard worker, really hard worker. He's the kind of person that, he also really, really sacrifices for his family. That's like a very important thing for him and a motivator. Like he'll sacrifice things for him that he may want for himself, to take care of everyone else first, and not, not look for any props on doing so. That's how he rocks. He's just like, old school, like man.
I gotta give all the glory to God though. God has blessed over us because we started off as teenagers, man, and then us. And where are we now? I mean, it's amazing. It's just a blessing, and God has really ordered my steps and this got me to where I'm at right today. And that's all I can say. Nothing I've done, believe it. I've done it all.
This is the truth. He's had his finger right on these two little know-it-alls when we were young, so You know, it's certainly, we've been in God's hands throughout.
But there's some very beautiful things that go on in our community. You know, you see more guys, you know, with a stroller or either the fanny pack where he's got his child close to his chest. You know, you see that more. It's not as much of an anomaly now as it used to be. So I think the image of what fathers can be as nurturers is changing, but it is nowhere near where we need to be. And so we got to continue to work to make sure that the images and the perception of black fathers are positive as these stories actually are you know, the reality more than they are the negative.
I'm 23 years old and I have one son. He's 6 months now. I'm named after my dad, and my son is named after me and my dad. So he's a third and I'm a junior. When I first found out that my son's mom was pregnant, I was very excited. I was excited. I didn't know whether I was going to have a boy or girl at the time, but it was just the surprise of bringing a new life into the world. I will always, always, always be in my son's life, no matter what.
For a child to just know that you will always be there is the best thing they can ever understand, because that's the ultimate question that children will ask themselves coming up, as you asked yourself coming up. Am I worthy? Am I worthy of being here? Am I worthy of having life? Am I worthy of someone else's love? And they want to assure themselves that, and the best way they can is just to know that daddy's there.